The Men's Maryland Suburban Traveling League history. The Men's Maryland Suburban Traveling League began in 1960 and was a duckpin league, originally geared toward the low to medium average bowler. The league limit was originally $525 for 5 bowlers, but by the 1962 to 1963 season, with membership already at a high standard, the league maximum had increased to $535. By 1966, the league limit had increased to $540. The league was a competitive one, and the league maximum steadily increased over the years. By the 1974-75 season, the maximum team average was at $560. By the 2000s, as scores had experienced marked increases over the years, the league was at a $630 team average limit for 5 members. As near as I can trace the succession, its list of league secretaries is as follows. From 1960 up through the early 1970s, David A. Ross was the secretary-treasurer. From the early 1970s through 1974-75, it was Bill Williams. From 1975 to 1976 season up through 1985 to 1986, Tony Hughes was the secretary. After that, from 1986-87 through 1990-91, Kenny Christ followed. And from the 1991 to 1992 season through 2005-2006, yours truly, Rod Weaver, took the job. After I departed the 2005-2006 season, in 2006-2007 through 2011-2012, Rob Thomas took over the job. There may have been a different league secretary at the outset of the league before the tenure of David Ross. However, the earliest sheet I could find was from 1962, which featured Ross running the show. Elton Weiser, who was a member of the league every year from its first year through its last, was the first president of the league. The league was a traveling league, meaning that more than one bowling establishment was used to accommodate the expansive number of teams each Friday night. While it certainly was true that a large bowling center with at least 40 lanes could host a 40-team league, other leagues did already occupy a certain number of lanes in the large bowling centers, and thus there wouldn't be room enough in only one house for the large league. The MMSTL rolled in 3 bowling centers primarily during its first 32 league seasons. I was not able to locate a sheet from the 1960-61 season, but the 1962-63 season featured the bowling establishments Prince George's, University, and Woodmore. And I'm only guessing here, but I'm thinking that Prince George's and University were Fairlane's outfits back then, or were at least in the locations where Fairlane's had their centers in the 1970s and later. The Woodmore Bowling Center was part of a shopping center known in the Silver Spring area as Four Corners and was in the basement of the mini mall. The bowling lanes were added in 1954. And on a side note, just as a tidbit, the Woodmore Bowling Alley closed abruptly, which I roughly estimate to have been sometime in the early 1970s. One of the legendary icons of duckpin bowling, Dick Westlake, bowled in that house and recalled going to his bowling league one night only to find a note on the door stating that the Woodmore Alley had closed its business. But anyway, getting back to the MMSTL, the travel league was customarily comprised of 38 to 42 teams or more with 5 players on a team up through the 1990 to 1991 season. I believe there was at least one year in which there were 44 teams because I inherited a 44-team schedule from the secretary before me, Kenny Christ.